We're so lucky to have Char Miller-King in the shop today, and I am thrilled that she is here. So we want to take just a couple of minutes and introduce you to Char. So Char, give us, you have 17 seconds to give us your entire life story. No, give us your background. So, you know, a little bit of personal and then the whole woodworking side, how you've evolved into the point where you're here shooting video.
I know, it's been an amazing journey. Well, I started about 20 years ago with a bed, because I couldn't afford to buy a bed, so I figured out how to make one. I borrowed a drill and I borrowed a screwdriver, and I built this platform bed, and I slept in it for 7 years.
So this part's interesting, that long ago too, like you didn't necessarily have YouTube to rely on or whatever.
No
so was that,
YouTube.
were you looking at library books or something, or what was you, or just figuring out on the fly? That's very
All
cool.
off the cuff, figured
Okay.
it out, looked at a picture, copied the picture, had someone else cut the wood for me, put it together, and thankfully it worked.
All right, so that was the start.
That was a start. So I started making other furniture. It wasn't that great, butt joints, crappy furniture, figuring out as I went. And then I started acquiring more tools. You know, first it was a circular saw, then it was a power drill, until I got to the point where I can no longer fit a car in the garage because it is covered with power tools.
I love that problem.
I know, right? My husband doesn't. So I started making things, I started doing commissions, and then I stumbled upon a makerspace. And a makerspace is a community building where anybody can come and learn a new trade or skill. There's access to power tools,
So it's
teachers.
kind of like, it's like joining the Y for woodworking.
Exactly, I love that analogy. Yes, that's exactly what it's like. And we create this community, this thing of friends. We're all makers. And I started teaching there. And that's when I fell in love with teaching. So I teach kids as young as 7 how to use power tools. I think I've taught someone as old as 80 how to use power tools for the first time. And then, of course, I stumbled upon social media. And that's where things kind of just exploded and blew up for me. And now I'm here with you, and we're building in your amazing space. Thank you for having me.
And so one of the things I want to say, though, because you've undercut this transition part of your life, because I already know the story, is with no parachute 7 years ago, right? Char was, you know, determined that her W-2 job, her day job, was not where she wanted to be. That it's not here physically, but here in this community, this space, is where she wanted to be. So just, you jumped in with 2 feet.
I did, and that is a big part of the story. Probably not the smartest move, but thankfully it paid off. I'd been working in corporate America for 15 years and decided that I only wanted to be a maker. That's literally all I wanted to do, was get up, put on sweats, cut wood, make sawdust. But unfortunately, that does not pay the bills. By this time, I have 4 children, but I did it anyway. I took that leap, I left, 2-week notice, and ever since then, I have been able to wake up, put on sweats, go outside, cut wood, and make sawdust, but now I'm actually able to make a living doing it.
And loving your job.
And loving it.
So then let's do this. What, in that category of, like, you know, we talked a little yesterday about in life, there's never the perfect time to, like in my case, join Peace Corps, but I went. Have kids, but we both have kids. And then, so for this, like if you were giving somebody advice of like, something to stew it in the back of the brain, not necessarily becoming a maker, but like, is there an aspect of that that's like, I don't know, just go for it? Or like, what would you say to that person who wants to realize that dream of theirs?
I realize that not everybody is in a financial position to just quit their job and figure it out, but I will say this based on personal experience. If you are not following your passion in life, you will never be happy. And happiness does not always equate what the world sees as success, and it does not always equate with being financially well off. Happiness is here. So follow your passion, whatever that means, even if that means taking one step every day to get closer to the thing you want to do. I'm a firm believer in hard work and manifestation. It will 100% pay off.
I like that. It's kind of like that concept of the universe treats you the way you expect to be treated, kind of thing.
Exactly.
So one of the things I'm real excited about with getting Char on board with us, with WWGOA, she's got, as she said, this huge passion for teaching. So you're going to see stuff come from her that is about bringing kids into woodworking, about bringing just non-woodworkers into woodworking, and how to smooth out the on-ramp there onto the Woodworking Freeway
Exactly.
to make that a little bit simpler. And I'm just thrilled to have you here. Thanks so much for coming from Atlanta to wintertime in Wisconsin. So that part alone is is a tough stretch, but you did it.
I did it,
And
and it's
I'm
been
glad you're
fun.
here.
Thank you for having me.
It's going to be a blast.
It is.